Hey, my sweet marshmallows, how you guys doing today? As you already know, I'm Melamona, and I'm just doing this random ass video. Why? And the reason I'm gonna have my plants in the background is because they're the reason why I'm actually making this video for real. So, as some of y'all know, I'm a newly plant mom of 3. Okay, this is the hardest journey for me so far. But I learned a lot within, I'm gonna just say a few weeks actually. So let's just talk about the different plants I do have. So I have a flamingo lily, I have an orchid, and a money tree. Okay, so me as a person that you will probably categorize as a brown thumb is trying to become a healthy green thumb. Okay, so let's just start with my first plant. My first plant was my flamingo orchid that was gifted to me by my job. They pretty much was like, oh, we have these. Do you want it? And I was like, oh yeah, I would take it. I was like, I just want to have a plant. I never really, took care of a plant and really did what I had to do with this plant. But I was like, why not? I'm gonna take this plant. It's gonna be my new child. Let's get it, right? And then, I got overly ambitious and was like, oh, it's working out fine. It's doing great. Let's have more. Right? Like, you know, I feel like this message is going to kind of pertain to other things as well, which is why I'm still representing it as like a growing process and also like motherhood in a sense, even though I'm not a mother at all. But I mean, maybe you could take from it for whatever I'm about to say. So, as I was saying, I got overly ambitious and I got the orchid and the money tree. So let's just talk about how they reacted to coming into my space. So coming into my space, we have Lillian, the flamingo lily. She's over there in the corner. She won't fit. She's the oldest pretty much at this point. So Lillian, I don't know what it was, but it was just like a transitional thing for her. Like, I don't think she really took it that well moving forward into coming into the space, whereas these two, they thrived for some reason. Marlin, the money tree, and Magenta Orchid, yeah, they all have names because I do want to, they're plant babies, right? So like I said, Lillian didn't do that well. I believe when they gave me her at the time, she was kind of already damaged a little bit. I'm gonna just say damaged or had some trauma, because it was multiple of those kind of plants that was given away. But I was like, okay, I'm up for the challenge. Okay, so as you can see, I'm probably taking that. I thought about that and was like, dang, I got Lillian right at the time of my life in a sense. Like, pretty much it wasn't that long ago. I got her right at the point of where I was going through a transition, and that in a sense she kind of represented that part of myself a little bit, right? And I was like, just how she felt, I guess, how she reacted to coming here. She was very uncomfortable. She was, doing good one day and doing kind of, the next day, only because it was a lot of fluctuations in how I had her in my, space or whatever, because it can get really cold and it can get really hot in this room specifically. So, again, that's kind of how I felt, I really felt just like her. Like, I can't deal with the pressures and the, all of this stuff, right? I can't deal with it. But I kept pushing on. I researched it. Pretty much I tried to put in the work because I wanted to see her grow. I want her to be the best, lily that she can be, okay? Moving on to Magenta and Marlin the money tree. So as you know, you can actually look up the meanings for each plant spiritually, what they mean. I know that both of Magenta and Lillian, they kind of represent like home, feeling like, good luck, things like that. It brings you stuff like that. Whereas Marlin, the money tree, is also dealing with luck and finances and abundance, okay? So when I picked out these two from my local supermarket, they sell plants and stuff, I saw Magenta and I was like, oh, she's super pretty. She will add some life and color to my world. And, brightness, you know, that kind of represents my creativity, my personality. That's who magenta is. Okay, even though, yeah, magenta definitely represents that. And y'all, I just saw this, so I'm excited, y'all. I'm so excited. And this is probably why magenta is magenta, y'all. But let's get into it right quick. So, y'all, magenta is starting to open up and blossom. Let's just get into that real quick. Yeah, I ain't gonna say I did that. I did that. Yeah, I did that. I did that. Right. Anyway, before we even get into that part though. So like I said, magenta kind of represents the creative, open, you know, like my personality, you know, the just me as me being in my zone. As Marlon, you know, like I said, I got 2 feminine energies and 1 masculine. When it comes to Marlon the Money Tree. So when I look at Marlon the Money Tree represents, of course, my financial and just like my masculine, just all of those qualities when it comes to that side of me. And also, I feel like however I nurture them, which I try to nurture them all equally, yes, it kind of reflects back on my job. So I kind of, you know, we're supposed to be syncing. We're pretty much becoming synced in how we gonna grow together, if that makes sense. And this is why I decided to be a plant mama, you know, so I can learn some things about myself and, you know, be able to care for something other than myself, you know, something like that. But back to Marlon the Money Tree. So when I got Marlon the Money Tree, I was looking at different money trees and I was just like, which one do I want? Believe it or not, Marlon the Money Tree had way more leaves than this, right? It was actually overgrown and stuff, and I had to prune it. Okay, so as you can see, you already know based off of my selection, I'm an overly ambitious person, and that I tend to go over the top with certain things, and that I know that at sometimes I can be a workaholic. I ain't even gonna lie, y'all, because I'm thinking about this and it's like I really thought of that. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, yeah. So like I was saying, I could be overly ambitious or, you know, dive too much into work to where I kind of lose myself, right? Which is kind of probably why I got these 2 together, because they literally like a married couple to me. They feel like a married couple. If they're not a married couple, they're siblings. They pretty much go together, okay? They go together perfectly. She brings out the best in him, and he helps her be the best that she can be. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting from that, okay? Not only that, I feel like when I went through the pruning process and rebraiding Marlon, because like I said, he was overgrown. Not only was he overgrown, the braiding, I was like, oh my God, it's like I can't, you know, I'm trying to redo it or whatever. And it's like very thick at the bottom. Very thick, okay? Very thick. Again, that also represents my ego and pride and just how I want to be seen, you know, very strong, you know, stuff like that, right? So as I'm cutting and pruning and doing what I had to do to Marlon the Money Tree, and like I said, doing the maintenance for my plants, I realized that I'm the type of person where I was trying to, in a sense, rush their process or their progress as plants to go ahead and be like the best plant I ever had. Like I said, that was my first mistake. I learned by getting plants that I had to be way more patient, and that it's okay to start from square one. Okay, it's okay to do that. It's okay to, you know, lose a few leaves or, you know, whatever, but it has to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? So take whatever that pertains to you as well, you know, especially when it comes to like finances as well, because I realized that too. Is like, you know, if you have to lose some to win some, like also people, if you gotta lose certain people, you'll gain new people. So it's like, never think of it like you're losing anything, because it's going to be for the greatest good of your, you know, you, or, you know, in this instance, my plant. You know, I had to prune it, I had to redo it so my plant could feel comfortable and be able to grow and flourish the proper way. Okay, like I said, each of my plant babies represent a different part of myself, and that I try to equally water them or equally give them that attention, that love that it needs. Okay, I just want to kind of quote, or not really quote, but talk about a scenario from watching Ayala Fix My Life, which she's a good inspiration for me, trying to like help people and stuff, and being like a stern person at that. Like, I love it, right? So pretty much she literally had three plants, and she was talking about what's her name? Yeah, she was talking about Shay from Love and Hip Hop, right? She was talking about Shay from Love and Hip Hop and their connection, and she was like, "Mama, hey, can you see what you did to your children? Each child represent a different plant, so each plant was watered differently, and as you saw each plant, one was like boom, flourishing, doing what they got to do. The other one was kind of like, you know, barely making it, and the other one was completely dead. So she was pretty much saying, like, if you're not the type of person where you cannot see the damage, see what you're doing and stuff like that, then maybe you need to do like I'm doing, see those things, and kind of put those into play and understand that each thing that you water is important, right? You got to do that, because let me tell y'all, like I said, when I first started this journey as a plant mama, this I'm telling you, I don't know what I was doing. Like I said, I felt like I was rushing it. I had got me a spray bottle from Walmart. This is a good spray bottle, actually. I got a spray bottle, and what I do, I like spray my plants if they get dusty and stuff, wipe them down. Like I said, I probably overwatered them at one point, because like I said, I was trying to speed up the process. Like, the more water I give it, the better it'll grow. All of that stuff. And I realized that each plant is different. Each plant need different needs, and that I just had to adapt to different things for that. Right? I had to do that. Yeah, I had to do that. So I realized, like I said, with my creativity representing Magenta Orchid, yes, they got first and last names. She has to be free. She has to be free. She has to be seen. She's the it girl. She's the it girl. Okay? And I let her be. I let her be herself. With Marlon Money Tree, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I guess we had to talk yesterday when I did him up. He feels a little bit better. He feels like a reformed. Y'all ever seen a reformed person that had like a bad past? That's what I'm getting from Marlon. That's what I'm getting from Marlon. I don't know. And then for Lillian, like I said, she's my oldest, and she really does like have an old soul. Okay. This is more. She gives me a lot of homebody, a lot of transformation. Okay. She gave me a lot of transformation. So, I mean, like I said, Lillian is a whole different breed and a whole different side of myself that I know that I'm going to have to work way harder on, which we are working way harder with each other when it comes to the growing process for her. Like I said, a lot of trauma. Okay, she came with a lot of trauma. Like, she came with a lot of browning and all of those other things. And, I had to prune her and all of that, too. The only person... or I said the only person, y'all, excuse me, y'all don't think I'm crazy, but the only plant baby that I didn't really have to prune or do that much for was Magenta. But I mean, like, she's Magenta, like, you cannot, it's giving, right? And the crazy thing is, working with Lillian, as some of y'all know from my other videos, when I first introduced her, I was like, hey, this is Lillian. We're gonna speak positivity and stuff, and I feel like that was just super uncomfortable for her. I don't know. Okay, anyways, y'all, as you know, I just felt the need to come up here and talk about plants. Not only plants, how plants represent you as the mother or the father, or just how you can learn from plants. I just felt like it was a message behind that. Also, if you're the type of person like me that's new to the plant mama world or father world, or you've been in the game for a long time, give me some tips. Give some other people some tips. And shoot, I mean, just conversate. Let me know what I can do to make my flamingo lily better, help her, Also Marlon the Money Tree, because those two, I don't know, they got their own little thing, but you know, if help us out, help me out, help me out, do what you got to do. But other than that, you guys have a nice weekend and you guys stay sweet.